It's Conduit News Radio with Paul Harrell.
Push here to get the number of signatures that are needed to get the term limits amendment on the ballot that we'll all vote on this November. And if you want a term limit petition, and it can be in your hands within 24 hours, the number to call is 501-590-8260. That's 501-590-8260. Checking in with the program once again, we have Mr. Tim Jacob with ArkansasTermLimits.org. Tim, welcome back, sir.
Good morning, Paul. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I would like to ask you, because I'm watching on Facebook, and I was talking earlier, it is no surprise that we have politicians that I actually agree with sometimes on their voting record, but we have politicians who are in office who are not for the term limits, and I don't really want to spend much time on it because, it's really just not a shock. I mean, this is the disconnect between the people, and this is why we need term limits in many ways, but there are some saying that, this idea that Arkansas, has term limits that are, too big is wrong, and that we have actually one of the most restrictive term limits in the nation. And I wanted to get your response to that.
16 years in the same office is the longest tenure any term limits established in this country. So that's a no-brainer. Listen, I'm kind of glad these politicians for the first time are coming out and wanting to debate this issue. Where were they in 2014 when they used a campaign of silence and a deceptive ballot title to get their way? I'm relishing and look forward to any debate. Let's talk about this issue. That's what democracy, that's what our elections are all about. We don't need to deceive voters anymore like they did in 2014. We want to put this fraud that they did in 2014 to the test this year. We want to give the Arkansas voters an honest ballot title. And that's why we're in this, to put it on the ballot and to give the voters of Arkansas a chance.
And I'm really glad that you said that, and you're talking about the deception that got us to this point. And, of course, John Woods is now convicted. He's a convicted felon. It's no surprise if he was willing to deceive the people to raise legislators' pay and double their term limits, that he also would be laundering money through a Christian college and taking kickbacks. So this is actually symbolic in a lot of ways to get rid of the stain of John Woods on the entire state of Arkansas, in my opinion. And I think and not to mention, there is a culture of corruption down there right now, and I think these term limits would really help address some of that. You can't stay in office forever. You got to go back home.
That's exactly right. John Woods was judged by a jury of his peers, and most of the frauds that he's perpetrated are going to be rescinded. But there's one out there still, and that's the tripling of their terms that they did in 2014, and that's what the voters have got to rescind this November, and that's why we want everyone to call 501-590-8260. You need a petition. You have friends and family that could sign. Please, let's get this done. Let's get on the ballot and give the voters of Arkansas a chance again.
Do we have anybody out collecting signatures today?
We do, but they're mobile. They're not going to be at one location today. They probably will be tomorrow.
Okay.
But they're just mobile out there, and we're just trying to get as many petitions in the mail or deliver them personally to anybody who calls in. And you can text that number, 590-8260. You can text it, you can call, and we will get petitions to you.
Yeah.
If you've never participated in a political campaign before, in any type of effort, this is something you can do.
It's interesting. We had you on the program yesterday, Tim, and we were, talking about how the Marble Palace is not going to be for this. I mean, once you get the number of signatures, they're going to do everything they can to throw as many as they can out. That's why we got to have these signatures. And, almost like clockwork, here, all of a sudden, here comes a lot of criticism on social media, from people who are in office. And I just got to tell you, at this point, I think we're right over the target. And I think, like you said, the people want term limits. And if you get it on the ballot, there's a great chance it's going to pass. And they're trying to stop it. And I'm right there with you, Tim. I think this is a great idea. Folks, the number is 501-590-8260. You can text it. You just heard, you can text that number, 501-590-8260, and sign the petition to get term limits back on the ballot, and let's undo the damage and the wound that Arkansas experienced from the last ballot title on this, which was deceptive, doubled their terms, more than doubled their terms, allowed them to increase their pay, and let's get rid of this stain of John Woods on the entire state. Hey, Tim Jacob, I appreciate it, sir, and we will talk to you again tomorrow.
We appreciate you, Paul. Thanks so much.
Tim Jacob, everybody. You can also print off your own petition and sign it and get your family and friends to sign it. ArkansasTermLimits.org. That's ArkansasTermLimits.org. You need to be a registered voter to sign. That's ArkansasTermLimits.org. Again, the number 501-590-8260. Folks, we're trying to expose corruption. We need to cap corruption. And one of the ways is to not let these guys stay in office so long. It's common sense, right? We'll see you tomorrow.